Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Cloud, and welcome to my personal VOD reviews of Locals. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Game 1 of Week 1 of the OP11 Meta, where I play Green-Yellow Yamato versus Green-Yellow Trafalgar Law. Here's the deck list that I played in this match, and if you haven't already done so, please go check out the Locals retro video I made that covers this deck list and my overall thoughts on how Locals went this week. Without further ado, let's hop into the game. Alright, first game for Week 1 of the OP11 Meta. I'm playing Green-Yellow Yamato versus Green-Yellow Law. In fact, I'm really excited for this matchup because I saw how well Green-Yellow Law performed at one of the recent Japanese championships, so I'm super curious to know how well my new build for Green-Yellow Yamato, which uses the new starter deck 28 cards, will do against Green-Yellow Law. And in fact, I'm actually really happy with the meta right now, even though the Purple Straw Hat leaders are kind of dominating the top. I'm actually really glad that the meta is open enough so that other leaders like Green-Yellow Law can actually compete at a high level and even top events. So there's some hope for my Yamato there. Going into the dice roll, I rolled a 10, it looks like. My opponent, whoops, went off screen, let's try again. They rolled a 10 as well. I roll a 10 again, wow. And they roll a 9. Alright, so I win the dice roll and I choose to go second. Second might feel a little bit odd for Yamato players because typically Yamato likes to go first in order to attack first. But in my testing, I have found that I typically do better when going second with Yamato for some reason. And also, the bigger reason is I don't want my opponent to be able to have 2 Dawn on their first turn and play out a 2-cost blocker. Specifically, I'm talking about the new Bej that Green-Yellow Laws use from OP11. So by going second, it takes away that opportunity from them, and then even though they'll get to 3 Dawn first, if they choose to put a blocker, that takes 2 Dawn away from them, and they can only attack with 6k, which I can counter out of easier, right? So forces them to use some Dawn to put out a blocker. But let's take a look at our opening hand. We start off with a 1-cost Yamato. 0 cost, you're the one who should disappear. 1 cost Momonosuke, 5 cost Yamato, and 2 cost Izo. Let's do our counter counts. We have a 1k, a 3k, a 1k, 1k, and 1k. So in total, we have 7k counter in hand, which is a very high number, and I'm super glad to see that we're gonna have a lot of defenses for our opening hand. It's a little sad though that we don't have any 2k counters in hand. It just means that if they do swing 6k at me, I won't have a easy 1-card pitch to get out of it. I'd have to give up 2 1ks or the 3k counter, which would be even worse. So a little worried there, but it's fine. We have a high counter count, so can't complain. Moving on to the cards themselves, I'm really happy to see the new 1-cost Yamato from starter deck 28. This Yamato is a 1-cost 0k power strike character with 1k counter that says Dawn 2. Your turn, this character gains plus 3000 power. On play, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck and reveal up to 1 Land of Wano type card with the cost of 2 or more and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. This card has been an amazing include for Yamato. It solves one of the main problems I typically have, which is usually with Yamato, you're swinging big to try to get your opponent to less than 3 life. So when you do that, you have no characters on board, and then your leader ability becomes useless because you can't attach Dawn to any characters. This card solves a lot of that. Being able to put it down on 1 turn means that I can also just search for any card I need later on in the game. But also, the first line, Dawn 2, your turn, this character gains plus 3000 power, means that it's a 1-cost attacking body, since it can go up to 5k with Yamato's leader ability. So that's really nice to see in hand. Super glad to have it. Another card I'm super glad to have is the new 2-cost Izo from starter deck 28. This Izo is a 2-cost 1k power range character with 1k counter that says Dawn 2. This character gains blocker. On play, your Land of Wano type leader gains banished during this turn. This card is taking the place of Onami currently in my deck list. And so being able to just apply banish to my leader is very nice, because now I can go for a double attack banish swing early on. But also what's really nice about this card is that for 2 Dawn, specifically, you know, in combination with leader ability, I can have a cheap blocker, you know, a chunk blocker. So whether it's early on in the game or later in the game, just attaching 2 Dawn to it means that I've got a blocker, which before was not possible, right? I'd have to spend Dawn on a different card to play a blocker. Really nice to have this very cheap blocker to play out. I think those are all the cards I want to go over in my hand. I know I have other few ones in here, such as the Momo Searcher, but it's just another tap searcher that lets me find any Land of Wano card, which is good. And then also we have the 5-cost Yamato, which the main thing here is that it's just a banish double attack character, which means I can just double down on the threats on board. But that's all I'll say about that. Overall, it's a really nice hand, so let's see if I decide to keep it. Looking at it right now, I would totally keep it because I have searchers, I have enough counter, and I can just try to find anything I need later, right? So I'd be more surprised if I were to mulligan right now. And it looks like I decided to keep it. Perfect. Just what I'd like to see. Looks like my opponent also decided to keep their opening hand, so here we go. Fist bump to start the game, and we're off. My opponent is going first, so they go up to 1 Dawn, and they pass. My turn, I draw. It was a Kikunojo. Ooh, a little hand wave to the camera there. And we're at 2 Dawn. This is where it's like really nice. I can, you know, play double searcher if I'd like, but here we go. I'm gonna start off with tapping 1 Dawn to play the new Yamato. And let's see what we get. All right, looking at these 5 cards in hand, there's actually a lot of decision points I can make right here that I think will determine how the rest of the game goes. If I want to go defensive, right? I'm really happy to see the 5-cost Momonosuke blocker right here. Another good thing about the 1-cost Yamato is that because it's 1 cost, I can play it on my initial turn. And then later, when I'm at my 5 Dawn, 6 Dawn turn, I can play this Momonosuke to put the Yamato in life, heal 1, and then gain a 6k blocker on board. Really nice play, so if I feel like I need to be defensive, grabbing this Momonosuke blocker would be really nice. Another good option is because we don't have any 2Ks in hand, we do have 2 2K options in the 2K counter Hiyori and the 2K counter Izo. Both of these would be good if I'm just only thinking about counter, but seeing how we drew a Kikunojo as our first card from our deck, this Hiyori right here is looking really spicy to pick because on my second turn, I'm most likely going to be wanting to swing for, let's say, 9k with 4 Dawn. Getting my opponent down to 3 or less means that I can use Hiyori to play it out and then put Kikunojo into my life, setting up my life with a trigger. So this is kind of if I want to go more offensive in the matchup. Really good card there. Another good card is actually also the 4-cost Hiyori. So in my opening hand, you saw that I had the 5-cost Yamato in hand. This 4-cost Hiyori is a 4-cost 0k power wisdom character with 1k counter that says activate main, you may trash this character, play up to 1 Land of Wano type character card with the cost of 5 or less other than Kozuki Hiyori from your hand, then draw 1 card. So immediately you can see that I can cheat out my 5-cost Yamato 1 Dawn early. So that's really nice. Again, this is another more offensive option. The only worry there is that I won't have too much Dawn to work with to attack with leader, but I do establish a very threatening character on board. Not to mention this Hiyori does replace itself, so it lets me dig 1 card deeper into my deck. So we've got really good options here. Let's see what I end up picking. And we go with the Hiyori. I think this is a good choice against Green Yellow Law, which will take their own lives, honestly. Being able to set up my life with a trigger body and be more offensive just means that I can try to end the game faster. Going back to my opponent, they're now at 3 Dawn, and they tap 2 for the new Kid and Killer from starter deck, was it 24? I'll put that one on screen, but I won't read it. It's essentially just a searcher, and the key part is the second part, which is on opponent's attack, they can trash that character to gain 1 active Dawn, which is really nice. My opponent will go ahead and attach 1 Dawn to their leader and attack my life for 6k, and I choose to take it. I don't have any 2k counters in hand, this is what I was worried about, so didn't want to give it the Hiyori since I want to set up my life later, and it's unfortunate that my top life was a Kikunojo. Going back to me, I'm at 4 Dawn, and I just attach to leader, and I go 9k double attack at my opponent, which they end up taking. Very nice for me. My opponent is now at 5 Dawn, with a lot of cards in hand. Let's see what they choose to do. They start off by tapping 5 Dawn to play the new, not new, but the EV01 Cavendish, getting 2 Dawn back as active. They attach 1 to their Law. And, or maybe not. Okay. They're gonna go 5k with their leader to my life. 5k, pretty easy counter here. I give up the 5 costs. Yamato to counter out of that, and then they tap 2 Dawn to play out the new Bej blocker. Really good card for them. I'll put it up on screen for you to read. It's very annoying to deal with if you're a removal deck. Passing back to me, I'm now at 6 Dawn, and sorry, real quick. Pause. Something I want to mention about why I like going second is with the new 6-cost Momonosuke from starter deck 28. This Momonosuke is a 6-cost 7k power slash character with no counter, and it says your turn, if you have 2 or less life cards, your leader gains plus 1000 power. Activate main, once per turn you may return 2 total of your currently given Dawn cards to your cost area rested. This character gains rush and 1000 power during this turn. So you saw that I was a little bit more offensive in my early 2 turns, getting my opponent down to 3 or less life. This just means that my leader ability is online, and so if I'm at 6 Dawn, I can play out that new Kozuki Momonosuke, use leader ability to attach 2 Dawn onto it, and then use Momonosuke's ability to detach those 2 Dawn, and now I have a 8k rush on board. So it's really good. I can go 5k with my leader. It's a little low, but that's fine. And an 8k. I just established a very powerful character on board early, and since I'm at 3 life, if I get hit next turn, my leader can go up to 6k later on. This is partially why I like to go second with Yamato. It just means that I have the potential to play out this Momonosuke early. But we'll get back to that card later. For now, it looks like I tapped 2 Dawn to play out Kozuki Hiyori. And we're going with the game plan I mentioned earlier. Play this out, take my top life, and set up a Kikunojo. This now lets me have 4 Dawn to work with. I could, attach the leader and swing big again. I could try to play out the other Kikunojo that I have in hand. Let's see what I try to do here. If I had the 4-cost Hiyori, that would be really nice as well. I could play that, activate its main and cheat out a 5-cost, which I have in hand. I think it's the blocker. Is that right? Okay, let's go back here. Yeah, that's the 5-cost blocker Momonosuke. So if I had the 4-cost Hiyori, I could play that right now for 4 Dawn and be able to not only heal 1, but draw a card and cheat out a blocker. So that would be good too, if I had it. That's a card I would love to have seen right now, but since we don't, I think we have to go with a more offensive game plan here. What's it gonna be? Alright, I'm gonna start off with using leader ability to attach 2 Dawn to my Yamato, and I go 5k with my Yamato. They give a 1k counter. That's 1 card from hand. And then yeah, we're just gonna go big. 9k double attack with leader. They use their blocker. This is what I also wanted to do, is just force out this Bej blocker so that I don't have to deal with it later. The bigger swing also just means that they have to potentially give up cards from hand if they want to counter, so it's more decision making on their end. They start off with a 2k swing to my 0 earlier, so that happened, just let it go. And then for 7 Dawn, they play out the secret rare Law, which lets them heal 1. They set up a 5 cost blocker Law into life, and then they use leader ability. And I think this is a good time to talk about the leader ability. Let's actually let them finish here. Perfect. So this Law leader, if you're not familiar with it, is a 5k power / leader with 4 life that says Dawn 1, activate main. Once per turn, if your total cost of characters is 5 or more, you may return 1 of your characters to the owner's hand. Reveal 1 card from the top of your life. If that card is a supernova type character with a cost of 5 or less, you may play that card. So they did a really nice combo here. Playing out this 7 cost secret Law lets them heal 1 from hand, so they chose to put this blocker Law into life. Use the leader ability to bring back the Kid and Killer into their hand and cheat out this 5 cost blocker. Very good play. It's interesting though that they chose not to use Law's ability to play out something, but I guess that's alright. They start off with a 6k swing to lead with Cavendish, letting them restand 2 Dawn. I don't want to give up a 2k counter knowing that I have a trigger, so I just go ahead and take the life and trigger out the Kikunojo that I set up earlier. And then they pass the turn after playing out a Bej. Back to me. Oh, actually, sorry, they didn't pass the turn yet. They went 6k with their leader. Now, this is actually something that I should probably be countering out of. I don't want to go down to 1 life this early. So I think I have to give up the 2k here to get out of it. Yeah, if I go down to 1 life, it just puts pressure on me to try to like either clear the board next turn or win. I don't want to be dealing with their board at the moment. I'm trying to stay aggressive and just continuously attack their life and force cards from hand or blockers. So yeah, it makes sense. I'd counter out for 2. They pass the turn. Back to me. I'm going up to 8 Dawn. And fortunately, I drew the 6 cost Momonosuke on time. Whew. I forgot that I don't have it in hand, but seeing that right now is beautiful. So I play out the Momonosuke for 6 Dawn, and because I'm at 2 or less life, my leader gains the +1, and now is a 6k space for the turn. This Momonosuke has been pretty good for the deck. I still would not run it at a 4 of, but 2 to 3 copies in the deck feels good, especially with all the searchers we have. Now with our last 2 Dawn, this is another nice play. I could attach 2 Dawn onto my Yamato and go 8k with Yamato, then detach the 2 Dawn to get Momonosuke to do rush. But yeah, first let's talk about this. We start off with just using leader ability and going 8k with my Kikunojo. This is the benefits I'm now reaping from setting up my life. Really happy that I did that. So, like I mentioned earlier, if I do the 2 Dawn on Yamato, it's going to be another 8k with leader, and then another 8k with Momonosuke. They chose to take it. That's good for me. This takes away a little bit of value from my double attack, but that's fine, honestly. At this stage in the game, I'm not worried about the double attack. It's just going to be swings here. We go 8k with Yamato attaching 2 Dawn. They block. Then I use Momonosuke's ability to detach 2 Dawn. Gives my Momonosuke 1k, and now it has rush. And I could choose to go after this Cavendish now that they don't have a blocker. It would prevent them, or it would slow them down from, reusing Dawn, but I think going 8k to life makes the most sense. Oh, that's right, they had the Law blocker, so yeah. Just go for life, force the block, and they actually gave me counter for it, so okay, very nice. I passed the turn. They're now at 9 Dawn with 1 life and about 4 to 5 cards in hand. Start off with tapping 1 Dawn to play Monkey D. Luffy. Lets them search their top 5 for a supernova. They choose to take 7 cost Secret Law again. Makes sense. They might want to heal this turn. Actually, they probably should heal this turn and establish another big body. So far, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Got 2 strong bodies on board. Good amount of cards in hand. Let's see, I've got 6 in hand. I'm not too worried about, dying this turn because I do have a lot of counter. And mainly it's just the 0 cost event and a few 1Ks. But because they're at 1 life, I think I'm more trying to protect my board this turn if they choose to attack it. Because I will definitely be trying to go for game next turn. I have Hody Jones in hand, so gotta keep that in mind. They tap 2 to play Kid and Killer again, letting them search top 5. Let's see what they take. They take Bej, which is a 2k counter. Alright, keep in mind they have a 2k counter in hand. They're down to 6 Dawn active. Really thinking this turn out. All the LoL leaders have been really thematic, which has been really cool. Being able to, swap characters. But I know that these are really big brain plays they have to figure out here. What's the correct line? How can they maximize their Dawn usage and characters? So, a lot of thinking going on. Meanwhile, I'm over here just swinging big. Alright, they start off with a 6k swing to leader. With Cavendish, it lets them restand 2 Dawn. That makes sense. I choose to take it. Don't want to give up a 2k in hand. I don't even have a 2k in hand, so yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they're back up to 8 Dawn, so I would think they would want to play the 7 cost Law in order to heal, but oh, interesting. They chose to attack with their blocker Law. I think another 6. Oh, yeah. Did they attack Kikinojo? It gave a 1k there. No, I took the 1k back. I would think they're going 6k to lead. Yeah, because if they attack Kikinojo, I might let that go and heal. But I can also counter out of it for 1k, which I thought I was doing. But seeing as I took back the Momonosuke, I think they're going to life. Yeah. Give up a 2k to save my life. They attach 1 Dawn onto their leader. Or not. Okay, replacing the Kid and Killer with 7 cost Law. Heal 1. Let's see what they put in life. Cavendish. Alright, Cavendish is in life now. Attach 1 Dawn from the 7 cost Law's ability. I think attacking with this Law is a really bold move. Now they've got no blockers against a leader who does double attack. That's very scary for them, especially when I know I have Izo in hand, right? I can just banish those 2 and swing really big. They use leader ability to cheat out the 6 cost Cavendish, bouncing back the 1 cost Monkey D. Luffy. Restand 2 Dawn, so now they're at 3. So if they're attacking with the Law, they must have another blocker, right? Is it? No, they play Luffy. Okay, I think they're in panic mode right now. I think attacking with that Law was a very big misplay, because now I think they're trying to search for a blocker. Maybe something went wrong with their line of thinking when using all of the effects here. They take another 2k, so we know they have 2 2ks. And my opponent decides to go 9k at my Momonosuke. Definitely want to save this, so give up the 0 cost event and my Momonosuke blocker to go up to 10. And then they go 7 at my Momonosuke, which is an easy 1k counter out. Yeah, this is a very surprising turn for my opponent. I mean, I'll take it. It's a open avenue for me. So they only have 4 cards in hand, 1 card in life, and we know they have 2Ks, so they have a total of, 4K counter in hand right now. Let's just leave that up on the screen. Trying to map this out, Oh wait, that's right. Sorry, real quick, get the +1 from Momonosuke. That's really nice. Knowing they have 4K counter in hand, and I have Banish, I kind of want to get rid of this last card. So it would make sense to play out the Izo and maybe swing with, I guess it'd have to be, yeah, play out the Izo. And ooh, that's right, I remember this moment. I said I was giving my Kikunojo Banish, and then I used leader ability and +1 Dawn to make it a 9K attack at their life. But this Izo cannot give Banish to characters. It's not like the Onami, it can only give Banish to characters. And I realized that during the match, so I just stuck with it, 9K attack. And they chose to give me 2 2Ks and the 1K. So we know the 2 2Ks are out, and they give us 1 1K to get out of it. With only 1 card in hand, and I still have 2 attacks, I think I've got this. I tap another 2 Dawn, properly giving my leader Banish this time. And since they only have 1 card, I just need to go 7K, since the most they can have in hand is a 2K. So that's right, there's the 2K, they banish that, and then it would just be all of my Dawn to attack with Momonosuke, and that is game. Alright, I think that went pretty well for me. My opponent did make, I think, this one crucial misplay right here. Maybe they had some other lines that they were trying to think of, but Green Yellow Law is a very complicated leader when it comes to playing out stuff, so gotta get the reps in. Let's see, what else did I do well this game? I think the early game went really well, finding the 2-cost Yori, attacking big, and then setting up the Kikunojo into life was really nice. It means that I can just freely take a hit, knowing that I'll get a character out of it. And if they choose to KO the Kikunojo, since they're already at 2 or less life, I can just heal. So, very good there, but let me know in the comments below if you think I should have done anything different, or if you saw a better line. But yeah, that's gonna do it for game 1. I will see you in the next match. GG's to my opponent. Until next time, remember, keep your minds fresh and your spirits free. See ya!